guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I am so happy you found us. I'm Lisa, and this is my channel where we do creativity and inspiration. Today we're talking about photography and how to take the best picture possible. Now we all have great cameras on our phones, so it's easier than ever to take quality pictures. But how? Why do my photos not look good? What am I doing wrong? What could I do better? I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks. We'll go through all the subjects. We'll go through casual pictures for your Instagram. We'll go through taking not portraits, but taking photos of people. We'll do taking photos outside, inside. We'll talk about backgrounds and lighting because that's going to be the common thread through all of our topics that we cover. I'll even also touch on photographing vehicles, like if you're in a wreck, how to get the best pictures possible. I'll talk about how to take photos for ads, if you're doing photos of houses for real estate, cars for used car sales, or if you have an Etsy shop, you sell on Marketplace, or you sell to customers and you send them photos and they say yes or no. If you're out shopping and you found this antique, you're an interior designer, right? Or you're doing a home and you found this perfect piece and you send a photo and the people are like, are you nuts? No, that's probably because the lighting is not hitting it. They're not seeing it in the context that you are. So you're gonna have to try to get the piece in a place where they will know what you're talking about. So anyway, that's what we're gonna cover today. And why can I give you this advice? I'm an award-winning photographer, yay. Okay guys, so the first thing we're gonna talk about is like product photos, okay? And this is gonna be our product today. This is a beautiful pillow cover. I love this pillow cover. I got it specifically for fall, and it's got this great fringe on it that gives it movement, it gives it texture, and it's a warm color. It's that burnt orange fall color. Okay, so if I was gonna send this to somebody and say, hey, this would look amazing in your living room. If I send it with it on this couch, and I'll get out of the way. If I send the picture of it on this couch, it's not popping. And the reason it's not popping is because the brown couch is warm and the burnt orange pillow are both warm. They're both warm, they're both rich, they're both textural. And it's giving you a comfy vibe, but the pillow's not popping. It's not saying, hey, this is something you need in your home. So what you should do is find somewhere in your home, a piece of furniture, a table, even just a plain backdrop that is cool, a cool color, a gray, a white, or a black, where you can put this beautiful burnt orange textural pillow on, and then you can see the texture, you can see the fibers, you can see the color, and it really, really pops. So now you're getting more of a feel for the actual product and not the overall effect. That's one thing in photography you need to be aware of is your warmth factor, I call it. And that's when you have, maybe you're taking a picture of something and it's a warm color, it's a warm texture, and it's paired with other things that are also warm, it gets lost. So find something cool. Cool is, of course, your grays, your blacks, your whites, your metals, things like that they almost make you think of like hard, okay? Hard and cold. And you pair it with something like this, it pops. So I'm getting the effect. So if I had a client and then I send this pillow with a photo on this chair, they're going to see the photo and I can send in my text, this pillow would look amazing on your brown couch. They're going to see just the orange. The gray is going to blur out. The cold is going to blur out. And they're going to go, yeah, that would look amazing. Okay? Now you can pair it. Say you have a piece of art that goes with that and you want to show how they would work in the space together. Now you can pair two items in one thing, but again, you need to have them in a cool background. So I'm going to keep them on my gray or silver background here, but I'm going to pair the two warm things together. There you go. You see how well that works. Again, I would text my client. I would take this photo. I would text my client and say, hey, these would look amazing in your family room, in your living room. You want that warm, you want that boho vibe. Both of these have that. That's how you would set up this photo. If I'm listing this on Etsy, again, the backdrop. That's why Etsy tells you to use an all-white backdrop. But the thing is, if your item is light and you use an all-white backdrop, it's going to get lost. So that's rule number 2. Make sure your backdrop matches your item. And it's the warmth factor. If your item's white or light, it's a cold. You wouldn't put a cold with a cold. Let me show you. So you wouldn't pair a white on a white background or a cold on a cold. As you can see, and I'm going to zoom you in because you would definitely zoom in. You would make sure one, size appropriateness for sure. Okay, but as you can see, even zoomed in here, a cold on a cold does not pop. You need that warmth. So this white poodle on a black background would pop and look amazing and would look awesome in an Etsy store, a marketplace photo, sending to a client or whatever. So your warmth factor is a big one. Also lighting. You want to make sure your item is lighted. In the pillow, you wanted to see the texture of those strands of that detailing. On this, you really want to be able to see that it has gold eyes, that it has texture on the head and the legs. You want to see the collar around its neck. So you want to make sure the lighting is on your piece. But at the same time, if your piece is metal like this, you want to make sure it's not glaring off into your photo, into your camera lens. So situating your light just right takes time, and you might have to move it around a little bit. Also, investing in some photo lights. If you take a lot of photos, if you send to clients or you try to sell items, it's a good deal. And I bought some on Amazon, and if they're still available, I'll link them below. Just for FYI, of course, you can get whatever you like. But move your light around so it really pops. That's another thing. Lighting is crucial. Now, those are for objects, and you could even work with like pets and things like that. But what about people? Now, people lighting is crucial, but you don't want a lot of light. You want a softer light than what you would use for an item. You want almost not a yellow. You don't ever want yellow because then your picture looks yellow. But you want a soft white light, or a white light that's kind of toned down, or your subject's away from it. You want to use shade and shadows when you're taking people too. It'll just add more interest. It can slim a face down. It can soften wrinkles without using filters. And all of this I'm talking about today is not using any filters. I'll do a part 2 if you want about how to use filters, and you can leave me a comment down below if you'd like to see that. Okay, so for people, there's, Instagram is full of good pictures and bad. We've all seen them. And I like them all. I'm not critical of anybody because I know some of my pictures suck. I don't always take my own advice. Or I think, oh, this is going to be an amazing picture, and I just totally screwed it up. So for individuals, one way when you take those photos on Instagram, don't put your camera here in front of your face. It makes your face look flat. There's no interest to it. It makes it's unflattering. You'll end up with a double chin even if you don't have one. So straight in front. Up above is good. And tilt your head just ever so slightly. It'll pull the neck in. It'll pull the chin in. And you'll get a really good, clean shot, a nice jawline, and you'll be very happy. Don't put it where you're looking down because the whole face is going to be pulled down. Remember, up, it's like a facelift. Down, it's no good. Okay? That's the main trick. Now, if you're taking a full body shot of yourself, you're going to have more like my camera on my tripod. Then you're going to want to do the trick that I call the knee. The knee is, you've seen it and you probably didn't even realize what people are doing. It's the turn in the knee. And this is the most common trick that everybody uses start going through your Facebook and your Instagram, and you're going to be going, oh my gosh, she's using the turn in the knee, the turn in the knee. There it is, there it is. It's everywhere. but it's the best trick to make your hips and your waist look slimmer. Now, I'm all about being real. You get me. Sometimes you see the lumps and the bumps. Hey, that's just the way it is. But sometimes when I do want to do those really good pictures, I do the turn in the knee. So let me just demonstrate for you. So right now, this is full forward. What you want to do is turn ever so, point your toes. See how my toes are pointing away? My body's still straight. And then bring your knee up and turn your body back straight. And you can even put your arms down then. And if I didn't have such baggy clothes on, you could see I'm thinner than I am this way. The turn in the knee and turn back. So it's turn your hips to one way, bend your knee, and then turn your waist back. And you look thin. Or turn totally sideways and then do the knee, okay? With your head and your shoulders, which I will show you. With your head and your shoulders twisted back, okay? So there you have both of them. And it causes a turn here, which causes you to look slimmer than if you're just straight ahead. That's the oldest trick in the book. Go check it out on Facebook. All right, let's go outside and we're gonna talk about using natural light and some really cool things you can do with it. You could also do it with inside light, but I love natural light. I love sunshine. I live in Southern California. Best place in the world to take advantage of it. So let's go outside and talk about it. When you're outside, there are some tips and tricks for getting great shots, whether you're shooting a tree, a plant, a rock, a bug, even flowers. I've got all the tricks for you, and I'll give you a few of them. So one thing you can do is point of view. When you're shooting outside, it's really cool to get different shots of point of view. So instead of taking the picture of this tree straight on from where you are, I would bring my camera up and take a picture looking up like this. And you get the picture right there. Neat trick, huh? So when you take, it's called point of view. And when you take pictures from different unexpected points of view, it really adds interest and people will notice your photos more of the tree than if you just took it straight on, okay? Another thing is getting macro photos or real close up. Well, let's go over here. So these roses are beautiful and you see a lot of flower shots where it's the flower like this. What I like to do is take my phone, get my camera really close and get a macro photo of the individual petals, like that above. So that's one way you can do outside, is use interesting points of view. Another way is to use shadow and light to get really cool effects on your subject matter. This is metal art and it is a flamingo, and right now it's in sun and shade, and it's a great way to use the sun to highlight parts of it and the shade to give it an effect. And I'm going to show you the picture. You might have to play with it and get it turned just right. And then you take the picture like that above. So using shadow and light together to create interesting effects is another cool way to take photos. Then of course you just have your sweeping panoramic view. And with this one, I would just pick a certain part of the frame and focus in on, pick one thing, item, location that I really wanted to highlight. Say like the top of the mountain over there, it's real foggy today. I would want to highlight that, so I would zoom that part in and take the photo where that is my main focus. There's also tips and tricks to do that with fruit, flowers, or whatever from a distance, but you can catch a photo with it still being your main focus even when you're pulled back some. Okay guys, now we're out front and I'm just looking at my husband's car. And the reason I'm doing that is if you're in a wreck or somebody hits you, what you want to do is get your own photos for your insurance agency, okay? And I'm going to pull you out. Okay, when you get these photos, say somebody hits you from behind or in the side, don't just get a photo straight on because you're not showing anything. Get that photo, of course, because that shows it. But don't just get that photo. People will take it and they'll go like, okay, I got the photo, that's good enough. No, insurance companies want photos from each side, down below, up top, because they want to see the depth of the hit, of the dent, of the scratch. Of course, they're going to have their adjuster come out and look, but it's always good to have those pictures from the scene. So yes, you will take your photo straight on, but then also come from the side, come from the other side, come from above, just to make sure you cover it all. And if you hit somebody, do the same on their car, because you don't know, are they going to go cause more damage and then say you did it? So always get photos of any accident you're in. Alright guys, last one is if you're taking photos for real estate agents, make sure you get across the street, but again, focus on the best angle. If the house is, like my yard's really decorated with plants, I would want them to be kind of over to one side. That way they're going to get the best angle. Look for the best angle. You're doing this for your realtor and you want to help them out as much as possible. And if you take good photos and that house sells, you know, inside, remember when you take photos inside, do the light. Make sure your lighting's good in each room. When you do the photos outside, make sure I'm out front. Make sure all the angles are right. Because if the house sells fast, I guarantee you the realtor is going to say, oh, those photos really helped. Okay, so make sure when you're taking it from the front view, you get a good angle that highlights the best features of the house. Same like when we were in the backyard and we were just doing a scenery shot and we wanted to focus in on one section. Same on the house. Pick the best angle. You want a wide angle, but the best angle. Maybe that doesn't show a crappy neighbor, or maybe that doesn't show the fence that's not looking its best, or the cars. You know, of course, ask them to move their cars, but maybe a neighbor's parked in the way and you can't get them to move, you know, so you can get creative with your photography. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on how to get the best photos, whether it's a person, an item you're selling, or just an item you're saying, hey, look what I did, or if you're working and it's, you know, a house, or if you've been in a wreck. Be sure and hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and hit that little notification bell. Also, don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Take care, have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.